Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here from Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we received a letter from one of our amazing listeners asking for advice on a topic that's been buzzing around: dating your neighbor. Do or don't. Well, my sexy people, we couldn't resist diving into this intriguing topic. So join us this Thursday for our live episode on January 25th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So during this episode, we will be sharing our thoughts and our experience on dating someone just a doorstep away. Is it a recipe for disaster, or is it a match made in heaven? But here's the best part. We want to hear from you. Have you ever dated a neighbor? How did it go? And was it a romantic comedy or a horror flick? So share your stories, your experiences, and your questions with us. And send us an email or a message, and let's make this episode truly unforgettable. We want to read your incredible stories and answer your burning questions about dating your neighbor. So mark your calendars, set your alarms, and get ready to join us this Thursday, January 25th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And it's going to be a show you won't want to miss.
And that's the disappointing when you fuck a guy for over an hour and he just go.
Did anybody recognize you from film in the industry? They did? Okay. Well, I just came in. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You are such an advocate. One thing is what I love is I love seeing a lot of the beautiful women that's in the industry as sex advocates.
And I would set up crystals on their body based off of their chakra. And the crystals, what they do is if they sit long enough, they begin to like permeate through the body. They begin to expand through the body and they create a grid.
I shot with John Q too. You know, John Q, you know, I'm the first big girl, but he did inside, you know, inside. Yeah. But
I would, and I have given my last dime to people. I've given when I should have just watched. And it's not always about giving financially. It's giving your space and your time and your energy.
So that's kind of like a 50-50 answer, what I got. That wasn't really a yes or no answer.
I think I actually would, and this is of course the therapist in me, I would be asking them, like, tell me how this is celibacy for you.
So what's first there, Anna?
I shoot them just like I would be shooting a regular human. So you don't put the emphasis on that, so it makes it more consistent with the title of being transgender
I have
woman.
a good friend. She lives here in Atlanta. I met her on a porn set. She wrote a book called From Porn to the Pulpit. Now, I won't say she was like this super... Yeah, she's my best friend. She's my best friend. Her name is Danielle Williams McCord. She wrote an amazing book called From Porn to the Pulpit. She's been preaching for 10 years now, but I met her on a porn set.
Expectation in any business that you find yourself in. Because definitely for me, like, creating a product to push to the consumer, and for me, everything was consumer driven. If they didn't want it, I'm not gonna make it because I knew it
felt like if we kept our head a little below the sagebrush, that we would just be able to keep on going without any interference or anything like that. But that's
like, dude, I'm sitting in like the dressing room, like just with all the 20-year-olds and 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds. I'm like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 25. I'm like, how old are you? I'm 23. And I'm like, dude, I'm 30.
Before I leave the house, I feel like the last look. Mm-hmm. This is how I feel. This is what I'm thinking. Now when I get out and interact with other people, it's gonna be what it is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, bridging the gap. Nyomi Banks, the goddess. Tune in. Hey yo, Black, where we at? Elements. Got a problem? What's the issue? Ask Nyomi for advice, she will bless you. Is it sex, love, or relationships? If your spirits are down, you can get a daily uplift. Just listen every word that she speaks. Setting trends with hashtags for every day of the week. Hashtag motivational Mondays, testimonial Tuesdays. I've been listening for the last 2 days. Wet Willie or Wisdom Wednesdays. Either way, the conversation gon' be lengthy. It's not hearsay. This is her way. You know she'll keep you thirst trapping on a Thursday. 4 days down, I'll talk about the number 5 day. Never coy, she always keeps it freaky on Fridays. Spiritual on Saturdays with sessions in the morning. Still uplifting and inspiring you all in. Being the goddess that she is, she keeps you all in. Formed on soul searching Sundays, just call in. If you misinformed, come get the facts. Fortunate for you, she's looking to bridge the gap. Yes, she was a porn star, but she's more than that. She's a certified specialist teaching us how to act. By the end of the show, we'll agree to disagree, but be good to each other and ourselves and keep it sexy. Yeah.
All right.
Tune in every week to Ask Nyomi. Bridging the gap with Nyomi Banks and Dog Pound Mike.
We are back. Hey, what's going on, my sexy people? It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Wow, I had to take a pause right there, but I miss you guys. What's going on, my BTG crew? All right, so we got a really, really hot topic today. All right, and actually, we are streaming live, not only where we always stream live, here on YouTube, on Twitter X, Facebook, but now we are going live on Instagram. So I want to say, hey to all of my new Instagram people over there. I see y'all over there. Patience is a virtue. Patience is virtue, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so if this is your first time tuning in here to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more while bridging the gap between them all and teaching the world on sex, language, attitude, and spiritual uplifting. Ain't that right, Dr. Mike?
It's all good. Yes, we do.
All right, that's what I didn't do. Let me first introduce my co-host over here, Dr. Mike. Mike, what's going on, baby?
What's up, Naomi?
All right, so he usually tell it like it is. His name is Dog Pound for a reason, and we're just gonna leave it like that, right?
Yep.
We're just gonna leave it right like that, right?
Keep it in the kennel.
We'll keep it in the kennel. All right, so I want to do something right now, and I had told this person that I was gonna do it next week, but I'm gonna do it today. I'm going to do it today. It's something that we're doing new in this new season for Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, and I believe this was supposed to happen. All right, so you know how Oprah Winfrey has her Dr. Phil, so I figured that I'm like the Oprah of the adult industry. No, I'm just kidding. Let me step that back. But I figured, since she got her Dr. Phil, then I should have my Dr. Real, right? All right, so starting next week, we will have our own resident specialist, psychologist, um, holistic specialist. I can say a whole bunch of stuff about this young man, but Dr. William C. Washington is joining us. What's going on, baby?
Hello. It is so good to see you. It's so good to be with you. So good to be present with you.
Well, thank you, thank you. I know I said I wasn't gonna really do it till next week to hire, but when I just
Yeah.
get all blue,
I was like, you put me out here already. I'm like, I just got here.
you looking all blue. I said, let me bring him up, and I think it's ideal to bring you up also too, is because we're new and streaming live on Instagram as well, and so I know with our fan base, we have a lot of male-driven fan base with it, and even though we have a fun topic today. Still I want them to kind of get used to because next week is a kind of a little serious,
It gets a little heavy.
it's a little heavy topic. So I want them to get comfortable with you because Naomi, I can get a little silly and I can get a little real. So I want to make sure that we can all have that in every aspect of us right here on this platform. All right.
Lovely.
All right.
No strangers. No strangers.
No strangers. So tonight's topic is dating your neighbor. Dating your neighbor, do or don't. Dating your neighbor, do or don't. So let me tell you where this topic came from. All right. So many years ago, on my YouTube channel, Naomi's World, I was just doing Ask Naomi, where I was taking letters that I had accumulated through all the years from doing Playboy Radio, where people used to, write in and ask me love, sex, relationship advice. And so I figured, let me get back in, let me do it. And, so this letter came a few years ago, but it went in my spam. So I wasn't able to really read it. So as I'm cleaning out things and cleaning out my spam, guess what popped up? This letter. This letter popped up. So what I want to do is I want to take a quick break and then I want to come back and I want to read this letter because I can't take all the credit for this. I cannot take all the credit for this. I have to give credit where credit is due. And I thought it was a great topic. A great topic. And I know some folks out there and dipped to the neighbor on the side and climbed through somebody's window. I just know they did. I know they did. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to my left and I'm gonna act up. I'm like, who window have you crawled in?
Well, I've been through a few windows and some of them I should not have my butt into, but a few windows.
No comment. We live. Look.
What reason we climbed through windows? Oh, okay. I can make sure I talk about the right reason we talk about windows. Cause one window I climbed in and walked out with TV sets.
All right, my people, it's your girl, Goddess Nami Banks here, and we will be right back.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Naomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Naomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Naomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast. Available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Naomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Hey, my sexy people, are you ready for a transformative conversation? Well, tune in to Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap next week as we dive into the topic of mental health and well-being. Join us on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as we explore the challenges and stigmas around mental health. And we'll be discussing anxiety, depression, and the power of self-care. But guess what? That's not all. We're excited to introduce our special guest, Dr. William C. Washington. He is a renowned health psychologist and the founder of Washington Wellness. Dr. Will be sharing his expertise in groundbreaking holistic approach to transforming mental illness. So get ready to be inspired. This episode will break barriers and create a supportive community. We believe in embracing awareness and breaking down stigmas surrounding mental health. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for an eye-opening conversation on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap.
All right, it's your girl, the goddess Naomi Banks here on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. I am with my co-host, my boy, Dog Pound Mike. Mike, what's going on, baby?
Yep.
And I'm with the new addition, our new addition, Dr. Will. My field, my Will.
Love it.
All right, I want to say hey to my BTG crew. I see all of you there, right there. I see you all, and I thank you all for continuing to support us here on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. But today our topic is a fun topic. Today our topic is about dating your neighbor. Do or don't. And like I said, I cannot take credit for this because it was actually from a letter that one of our listeners had sent many years ago that I found in the span. And I'm just being honest. So let me read this to you, the letter to you. And I just want y'all to, and you know how we do it here on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. So if you have any comments or any advice that you want to say here, please drop them in the comments. But remember, keep those comments sexy. Negativity, we do not do here. All right, boos? All right. All right, so it says, hey, Naomi, how are you? He said, although I never listen to your radio show because I work Monday through Wednesday night, but I'm a devoted porn fan of yours and a fellow Chicago and living in Texas, and I keep up with your show topics on Twitter. He said, but I'm wondering if you covered this subject before, dating your neighbor, to do or not to do. He says, I'm single, never been married, 43-year-old guy, half Puerto Rican and half Indian. I live in a connected townhouse, and one of my residents I've been connected to for the past 4.5 years is a single, very attractive 28-year-old Black woman. She's a school counselor. Well, whenever I try to hang out with my neighbor, she flakes out on plans. Heck, she even flaked out on an occasion where she was the one to invite me out. But she also had me over on 2 occasions, both holidays, to drink wine, play card games, and chat. Nothing happened beyond that. But although the more she drank, the more she opened up about herself to me. She's from our town, so she has friends and families here, and thus probably doesn't care much about being overly friendly with her neighbors. I'm, on the other hand, am away from my family and best friend year-round because they still live in the Midwest. My attractive neighbor will text me on occasions asking me to ring her doorbell when she is not home just to make sure her dog is okay. Just like last night, she'll text things like, sweetie, are you home? Can you check on my dog for me by ringing the doorbell? Heck, we each even have the same dog type. But when she had me over, she proceeded to tell me about her online dating misadventures. Hooking up with some guy who lives in 90 minutes away and shows up uninvited to her workplace. Can you say psycho? But she seems oblivious to giving the guy right under her nose a chance, the one she lives next door to. So whenever I think of asking her out, I think of the negative. If we get serious and have a bad breakup, well, we know where the other one lives, and it'd be too close for comfort. Or on the other hand, I think the positive outweigh the negatives. So what's holding me back? I think she's not interested enough. So what do you think? Should I say fuck it and ask her out once and for all? And after she texted me last night to check on her dog, I asked her if she had plans for the 4th of July. And it's not like I asked, I wanted to watch fireworks with her somewhere. It's been nearly 24 hours and she hasn't responded to that. What should I do?
Wow.
I'm looking at Dr. Will's face, and he just shook his head because my hair was mostly down the whole time. And so I want to hear from my guys first. I want to hear what you all have to say. First, I want to hear from you, Dog Pound Mike.
It's easy for me. You just a friend, dude. You just a neighbor. You checking on dogs while she out on her online date, probably in the dog style position. What? He's a friend. Go check my dog.
She did tell her story. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I ain't checking on the my dogs.
And let me be right. It's some more that's written, but it was just too long. So I'll just cut it short. It was some more, but it was just too. It was too long, and I thank him for it. I truly appreciate him writing all of that to me too. But it was just too long to read, and so I just figured that's a great topic to to do. And I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and read it again. In the middle, well, towards the end. But at your initial thoughts, what do you think?
I, I had to say this, but he's dealing with the issues between convenience over quality. That's what he's dealing
Mm.
with. Convenience over quality, and he's just trying to decide his own self-worth and the boundaries that are needed for himself as a man. And that is a very tricky place, especially when you're lonely and you feel alone and you want companionship.
Did you get that, Mike?
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's right because it's convenient. She right there. She's right next door, and so convenient. But the thing is even when he called the other guy maybe online a psycho, well, he might be the psycho because he probably standing at her window seeing what time she get home.
And she also let him into that world, though, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gave him too much power, and when you give someone too much power, they're going to believe they have access. So then, when they're not given the access, who do you become? And why aren't you accepting who you are in this?
Obsessed with the stalker. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Very common story I hear with many men. They think that their output is more important than the input to what's happening. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Where's my return? Where's the reciprocity? That's going to turn into resentment, and that whole stalking is going to be obsessional. It's going to be obsessive, and then he's going to start questioning himself. So that's gonna be heavy. That's gonna be, and also if that's from July 4th, this has been a long time. So I really would love to see the update to this because
Oh yeah, this has been a long time, and this is the thing, and I'm gonna be very honest. Like I said, this not only the 4th of July. This has been many, many years ago. So my thing is, and I don't know if he's watching right now. If he's watching right now, but first of all, I want to apologize to you because it was in the spam, and like I said, when I was cleaning out my spam, I saw it, and I was like, wow. So if you did go on a date with her and you did ask her out, and I really hope that it did work. I hope that you are the 10% that worked. I really do. And if you are watching and you are listening, please give me an update and tell me what happened if you still live next to her, like, if you even, gave it a shot. Again, I apologize. Like I said, I've got ton of messages, but a lot of them went to spam. But I was just lucky to get yours on this the other day. And I thought that it will be a great topic. All right, so I do have a list of do's and don'ts. What would be the pros of it and what would be the cons of dating your neighbor. Dating your neighbor. And later on, I got a nice story about folks dating the neighbors. Yes, I do. I have myself. All right, so the pros. The pros is convenience. Convenience. One significant advantage of dating a neighbor is that it's convenience. It offers. You'll be just a few steps away from each other, making it easier to spend time together and maintain a close connection. Running to each other in the hallway or sharing common spaces can lead to spontaneous interactions and opportunities abound. Bonds, excuse me. And the next one is shared community. Dating a neighbor can provide a sense of belonging with shared community. So you'll likely have common neighbors, acquaintance, and experience when we can create a unique sense of camaraderie. And it can also make it easier to participate in neighborhood events or activities together, fostering a stronger sense of connection. And in time saving, dating a neighbor can save you both time and effort when it comes to commuting, or traveling. You won't have to navigate long distance or deal with traffic to see each other, and allowing more quality time to be spent together. And this convenience could also lead to increased spontaneity and impromptu plans. So, like you said about his loneliness, and he said that both of them that were from Chicago, we're from the Midwest, from Chicago, but she had family that were there in Texas, but he didn't. So for him, that's when he looked at the positive, is that maybe I've now built my own inside community or family here in Texas with some Chicago people that we kind of have like-minded experience. So that is a positive of it. But your thing is that if she's giving you all the signals of you're in the friend zone, that you're in the friend zone, to just let it be and let it go. Okay, you just sucked your teeth like you want to say something.
I missed the point where, okay, they both from Chicago and Texas. So the thing is, dude, she moved out of Chicago, get away from Chicago dudes. And now the first thing she see down there is a Chicago dude.
The story is ridiculous. I mean, the story is like, it's like someone wrote it. And like, honestly, it's like, so
I promise
it's
you
like,
that is not right.
that, because that is just like, man, like women just can't win. Like, I moved all the way to Texas to see you. Like, that's rough. Like, that's
She'll
just
walk out of her apartment and say, "Where you from?" Oh, hell no.
right.
Can you watch
guess
my
I'm moving to
dog?
Cali. Can you watch my dog? Right. That's what I had the Chicago men do. Watch my dog. Exactly. Oh,
Oh my God. So, all right, so here's the cons. A lack of privacy. Perhaps the most significant drawback of dating a neighbor is that the potential of lack of privacy. Living so close to each other means limited personal space, and it can be challenging to have a long time of moments of solitude. It may feel that there's also someone nearby, who can be exhausting on some individuals. The second one is difficulty in separation. If the relationship doesn't work out or ends on a sour note, living in such a close proximity can make it difficult to separate emotionally. So seeing each other frequently or even running into each other in common areas can prolong the healing process and make it harder to move on. And then gossip and rumors. Dating a neighbor can sometimes invite unwanted attention, gossip, rumors within the community, and people might notice you coming and going, and then develop opinions and speculations about your relationship. I'm sorry, because this is I got a story with this one. The scrutiny can add stress and pressure to relationship and potentially affect its dynamic.
Yeah.
So those are the cons of dating your neighbor. So for you, which one outweighs dog pound Mike? The pros or the cons?
Something honestly has to be, to me, and not really going on the ladder, but going on how I really feel about this person, and this initial conversation, could something really, really develop. And if that's the case, then I really don't like the fact that, the convenience thing is, that's really not what it's for to me, because I don't want to be close, And but the other side of it is, you do have that in common. You do have some things in common. So it's kind of 50-50 with me.
Right. And I guess it's very hard, because it's hard to be on that friendship end when you are hearing those stories of what that person is going through in this, and you're like, damn girl, you don't see me sitting right here. Like, what are you doing? Like, hello, like everything that you're looking for, I'm right here, and it's bypassed. So it's like, what's going on. So then that's why I understand what you mean in the beginning. Like, it's making him feel like, so what the hell am I? Like, it's just breaking his little self-worth down even more. Like what's the problem?
But I got a question though for both. But the situation was, when you meet like that as neighbors, you meeting as neighbors, you meeting as friends. Now, if someone is online looking for dates, looking for things, so her intentions with someone else's, I want to date somebody, I want to start seeing somebody. But when you meet somebody, you meet as probably friends. How you doing? Where you from? Those type of things. So I guess some people can put you in the friend zone right away, whether it's the male or female. Because I'm still, the story they had happened vice versa. God sees the one, like, okay, you cool, we cool like that, but I'm meeting you in the friend zone because we just meeting this neighbor, or in the neighbor zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your question?
So my question was, could that be the reason how you get into that situation? Could that be the reason why it's hard to date as neighbors? Because most times you probably put them into the aspect, especially if you're looking to date someone. You know,
Mm.
like the guy said in the letter, she was on probably
She was on sites
on
looking
site,
right.
right? So when she online, that's what she's looking for. But she already had put them in the friend zone right away, in the neighbor zone right away.
Right.
She had no intention, right? She had no intention of dating him, but she never communicated that. And
Right.
she knew that if she was honest, she would lose the access to the convenience of what he does for her. So she's completely manipulating the situation. This is completely a manipulative situation. And if he brings it up, he's going to be the one looking like he's wrong because he's confronting, even though he's actually genuinely there. She's being avoidant because she doesn't want to be emotionally responsible. To me, even if he was with her, she'd eventually be an emotional liability.
Right. So let me ask you this. But what if he never said anything to her to give her the no, just he just being a nice friend? Because in the letter, he never said about him, except for the 4th of July. That's when he asked her then. But beforehand, he hadn't really asked. I mean, but you know what? Let me stop, because as women, we know when somebody liking on us. Let me stop. I was about to
I was
put
gonna say, I was like, now Naomi.
I had to break it back. Like, okay, I got you. I
Mhm.
got you. Yeah, I was getting ready to like, girl, no, you didn't know.
That's a lot of emotional responsibility. Don't do that. Like you better than that. I was like, don't do
You have
that.
a sense. You do. You have a sense when someone is liking on you. And in that case, then this goes into a whole nother this is a good question right here. So if I know that someone is liking me and they never said anything, is it my responsibility to say to them, "Oh, I'm not interested," but we can still be friends? Do you understand what I'm saying? So even though I know that this person is liking me but hadn't said a word, I'm just being honest. I want you to help me out. And I know a whole lot of people feel the same way. So is it my responsibility to say, look, we can just be friends. I feel you liking me. But you
Who
know,
wants to say that? People don't want to say that. That's scary, right?
right.
It's scary.
So what do that person do that is liked and can feel and know that that person is being liked or want to be pursued,
Mm.
but that other person is not pursuing them? So what do you do? Even though you
You have
don't
to
like that person
mm,
as a dating or whatever, but you do like the perks. But not only is
right.
is she getting the perks, but he getting the perks too.
What perks he
I
getting?
hate to say that.
He in the privates.
That's real perks. It
I,
must be real perks.
I do the I but and sentence. I do the I but and sentence whenever that happens. I but and.
You don't have an answer?
No, I do. I do the I but and sentence. Hey, I understand that we're having a good time, but I don't feel the connection that you want to have with me, and I hope we can still be cool. Is that okay? I but and. I understand what you
I
like,
understand.
but this is what I feel, and I hope that we can understand that. Is that okay? I
But
but and.
okay, but what if this person never stressed that to you? You can feel the energy. You know what I'm saying? You can feel like, I can feel that this dude like me. You know what I'm saying? Or I can feel that this person likes me. And I'm just being honest. Because can I say this? I've been in those situations before. So going in, I'm not saying I ain't looking for nobody. So
I
I
do
go
that.
in saying that, but it took me a while to get there to be able to say that without being embarrassed. Because how can I dare think somebody is feeling on me when it might not even be that? You understand what I'm saying? So how can we have a any type of relationship? And I'm not even talking about love. I'm just talking about even a relationship, and there is no open communication between each other, because when we talked about before about because we both standing there being a representative.
I but and it. I but and it. Hey, I understand that
I
we're having a great time, but I
like
feel this.
that.
I feel this connection,
Mhm.
and I hope that you don't take this the wrong way. Is that okay?
Okay.
I but and it. It works everywhere. You can
I
do
but
it. It's a muscle. It's a muscle though. You gotta practice it. It's a muscle because
I
it
but
feels weird. Hmm.
Did y'all hear that? Are y'all writing this down? Are y'all writing this down? Not on my mind. Are you writing this down?
Yeah, until he moved to a bigger house. Then she won't come over to the new house. It
Right.
all
He's
it
gonna
all
change
makes
up.
up what neighborhood you talking to. If you in the hood, it's different. But you in Bel Air somewhere, your house bigger than hers, then
The language is a little different. The language changes up.
I don't even like that statement right there.
well, her house
No.
bigger than his. It goes both
I
ways.
really don't
Uh-huh.
like that right there.
It goes both ways.
I don't
The
even
language
know.
works everywhere. You can use it everywhere. It works. It works everywhere. It does. You can't go wrong.
All right, so let me ask you this because I had a few questions for you. How can dating a neighbor affect the dynamics of the neighborhood and the relationship within it?
Mm, that's difficult because the truth is that what a neighborhood is today in this world is very different than what it was. I can't go over to Miss Mabel's and get a cup of sugar. You can't do that no more. So it's different. Everybody has their cameras, everybody has their rings on. So it's more about, can we really trust you before I have to trust my neighbors before I can call them my neighbors.
Hmm.
That's just the reality of it now.
Yeah, it is.
So
It is. Yeah,
it's different. It is.
it is. It's
It's
very
difficult.
different. Yeah, but why I'm giggling because I do have a story to share, and it's not personally my story, but I lived it. I was there, and I saw it all, and I have some very handsome uncles. I do, and one of them, well, actually two of them, but we didn't find out the second one until about 30 years later. But one of them actually was dating a neighbor of ours, and she was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young lady. They were even, supposed to been getting married, everything, like, married. And there was a phone call that was made, and her mother was the one who used to ask, to borrow the sugar, the butter, the bread, ask,
Miss Mabel. Mm-hmm.
that was Miss Mabel. That was Miss
Yeah.
Mabel. And so on one particular day, he had saw Miss Mabel and her two daughters walking down the street after she had given us a phone call to ask if we had some butter, and we had told her no, we didn't have any butter for her to borrow. So when she was walking down the street, and he saw her walking down the street, I guess to go ask somebody else to borrow some butter, he said, "No, I can't do that. I cannot. I
Oh,
can't."
oh,
He said, "I can't do that. I can't do that. I cannot marry her." So, but what ended up coming out of there is that she ended up becoming pregnant with a child. And he
oh,
said, "No, this is not
oh.
my child."
She got more than some butter, huh?
Wait, that was on the grocery list. Wait a second. Hold up.
Right. I'm okay. The thing is, I know it's like, Naomi, you for real? You laughing at this? Because let me tell you, if you as a little girl, I think I was about 11 or 12 years old, 11 or 12, and I was all in the grown folks business. I was all up in the grown folk business, knew all the conversation, knew everything. I think I even had my 2 or 3 cents in to give my advice to, into it as well. But yeah, a child came out of that whole situation, and it kind of like turned relationships in our neighborhood a little different because she was very close to my aunties. I was very close to her sister. Me and the sister were still very close. You know what I'm saying? But it still changed the dynamic of what the neighborhood was. So let me fast forward a little bit longer, a little bit further, much further. Now we didn't know that my other uncle was actually messing around with another neighbor. We didn't know that. So he messing around with another neighbor. All right. So years are going past, and many, many years are going past, and we receive a email or a DM from a young man who said, "I think I am to my mother, I think I'm related to you." And we're like, "Really?" He said, "Yes." So he tells us who he is. His family lives two doors down, two doors down.
Village kids.
Yeah, two doors down. And we're like, "Wait a minute, like, hold on, like your cousin too is my best friend. Like, not that way, but the other way. There's a whole nother family." I'm like, "Yeah, yes." And I'm like, "Wow." He said, "Yeah." So I have to say, he said, "But I think, I'm like, "Really?" So we, a good week, 2 weeks, we call around asking, "Is this, did he?" No, he didn't. But yes, he did. Yeah, Didn't nobody know. Yes, he did. The thing is that this young boy, handsome young boy, that he used to watch the kids play, and my grandmother, all of the kids play in the front yard, and used to wish to be a part of our family, not knowing that all this time that he was actually a part of the family.
Wow. Village.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And did not find out to 30 plus years later.
All that time.
All
The
that time.
memories that just, wow.
And that's what you get from messing with the neighbors.
That's a Dennis the Menace almost type of moment, right? Right? Where it's that parallel shift, like one domino goes down, it just
Yeah.
it goes through it all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that old school neighborhood.
Yeah, now that's that old
That's
school.
old school
That's that
neighborhood
old
there.
school neighborhood. It really is. Yeah. It really is, where everybody knew everybody. Like, honestly, the neighbors back then, they can really chastise, the kids, like that. But for me, I never dated anybody that was neighbors, to me, rarely in the same neighborhood. And that's just to be honest.
Good
Really.
thing you did, because it might be your cousin.
Right.
I'm older than him. I'm much older than him.
You did date his neighborhood.
I'm much older than him.
Was out there.
A funny story about that, right?
No,
Oh
I'm
my
much
God.
older than them. But yeah, but back in the day, dating neighbors was the in thing, because I remember, and I don't know if this is how you are. I don't know if it's just a Chicago thing, because I'm gonna ask Dog how Mike too. Used to come in these different neighborhoods, right? And they used to hate when people outside of the neighborhood would date the girls that's in the neighborhood. And a lot of the times we didn't want to date the guys that's in the neighborhood. We wanted to date the guys outside of the neighborhood, but they were always getting to, they wouldn't want them to come into their neighborhood to get the girls. Is that something that, dang, is that
That's West Side.
was that something that you all
Yeah,
did?
it was. Neighbor where I grew up, the neighborhood, you hit 3 blocks,
Mm-hmm.
and then you hit farther down, probably about maybe a half mile, where you hit these other blocks and the basketball court right there. But it's like people from this end went talk. We all played ball together. The guys was cool, but the girls really didn't get along. So I had dated a girl on my end. She was a little roughneck, but we was cool, good person. And then I started dating a girl from another end who was like the princess of the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like, oh, how he get with her, and then so the other girl from other end, after we broke up, she kind of got into it with her, because it was like that vicinity thing. You shouldn't be with anybody there. You shouldn't be, and it only was a matter of like 8 blocks, but in them blocks, it was a big. I mean, I guess guys, and they own their vicinity. That's who they were, And you don't want no guys come, because I remember when I got older and I ventured out to the South Side. Oh yeah, they went crazy. You from the West Side? You can't come date no South Side girl.
It's culture though, right?
It is.
That's the culture though. You're not bigger than your block, right? You have to stay in the block. That's safety. That's trust. You understand the story. We all got the same school. We all got the same corner store person. It's that, once again, the convenience, right?
Yeah.
It's that convenience of knowing I know who's there and they know who I am. Everybody's got a name.
And we had communities back there. We had neighborhoods and
Those real
communities back there, which really don't kind of exist the same anymore.
They don't use each other the same way, right?
No,
They don't.
No, they don't. For you, Dr. Will.
Yeah, I was in a really weird community where it was very, very segregated. I was the only Black person in that community. So we all went by last name. So like we were the Washingtons, and it was the Jakowskis, then the Everetts. Then so like, it was all like family clans. And so it was really unique. So then when I went over to my mother's home, everybody was in the same block. So all the family names were in like each street. So each street was like a family name. So it was really weird. It was like, we on this side, this is the Prisby side, and then over here is like, so it was really unique to just see like the culture was by streets. And you could feel it too. Like you could walk on another side of the street and you could feel a different energy. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm going on the Eddie May Street. Like I'm going on this street. You can feel it. You could feel the energy. So so for me, it was always like each street had its own culture, and you had to just figure it out. And then each family had their own clan and culture, you know. And I think that was always so weird, but yeah, you could feel it though. Yeah.
Wow. You know, it's interesting. I remember one of my my aunties and her boyfriend, now her husband now. And I remember he was from the city. So we lived in a suburb and he was from the city. And they had started dating. She had met him. I'm trying to remember if we met him at the lakefront or something. We met him somewhere. But we met him outside of our little neighborhood.
Okay.
Right. And rumor around school is that she was dating somebody. They thought he looked like Michael Jordan back then. That's when Michael Jordan was the, whatever.
Like the
He played
icon.
ball. He was really good at playing ball. He was, older guy. And it kind of upset a lot of the guys that was at our high school and in our neighborhood. And so this particular day, we standing outside the house, my grandmother's house, and we just having a good time, having a really good time. And then, these two cars full of guys get out the car and they jump out. Asking him, what you doing over here? What you doing? And he said, man, I ain't in no gang or nothing like this. So they like, what you doing? What you doing? Such and such, this, and I'm looking at the guys and all of a sudden, I was a little high head back then. I told them to get their asses back in the car. Y'all own nothing to no one over here. Nowhere. And I probably was about this big. And they told me, you ain't got nothing to do with this. The hell I don't. You are standing in front of my grandmother's house. You were talking to my auntie's boyfriend. Mind you, his friend ran in the car. So it's just me and him standing out there.
Oh my God.
With two cars full of gas. And they was like, first of all, we know she crazy as hell. So we just gonna go ahead and jump back in our car and we go ahead and leave. But when I saw that, I was like, are y'all kidding me? First of all, y'all really didn't like her like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thought she was cute and whatever, but y'all thought that she was too sedity or whatever that, so you don't want her to be with nobody else. So y'all didn't want nobody in the neighborhood to be with nobody outside. But then y'all didn't want them. Y'all wanted to date whoever y'all want to date. You know what I'm saying? But then come and try to start. Yeah, it was like that. And that's like, yeah.
You small, but you walk tall. You were small, but you walk tall.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've calmed down a whole lot. I am very in my zen. I am in my melting man. Let me tell you something. Woo! Them closet prayers has helped me a lot. Those meditations, boy, I'm telling you.
They came through. Oh.
Yes, that came through so much. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to open up the phone lines, and we're going to open up to get some, conversation going, because we want to know. We want to hear your story. If you ever dated your neighbor, and if you had a good experience or a bad experience, we definitely want to hear it. I saw somebody over there on Instagram that said they were going through that at this time right now. They was going in at this moment. All right, give us a call at 1-626-605-2756. That's 1-626-605. That's Ask Nyomi, as well as Dog Pound Mike. We'll put a link up there that you can join us. And also, if you have any questions for Dr. Will, he's here with us. All right. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast. Available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Naomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Hey, my sexy people, are you ready for a transformative conversation? Well, tune in to Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap next week as we dive into the topic of mental health and well-being. Join us on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as we explore the challenges and stigmas around mental health. And we'll be discussing anxiety, depression, and the power of self-care. But guess what? That's not all. We're excited to introduce our special guest, Dr. William C. Washington. He is a renowned health psychologist and the founder of Washington Wellness. Dr. Will be sharing his expertise and groundbreaking holistic approach to transforming mental illness. So get ready to be inspired. This episode will break barriers and create a supportive community. We believe in raising awareness and breaking down stigmas surrounding mental health. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for an eye-opening conversation on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap.
All right, it's your girl, the Goddess Naomi Banks here on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. I am here with Dr. Mike. Mike, what's going on?
All good, all good.
And our newest member to the Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast is Dr. Will. What's going on?
Feeling good, aligned and present.
I like that, aligned and present. I don't want to ask them too much about yourself today because I want to give them a really earful next week. I want to give them a real earful next week. I want to keep them, anticipating sitting on the end of their chairs, waiting for you. You know, I don't want to spill it all. I don't want to spill it all. But I think you would be a great asset to the show. Especially what dynamic of men that we have on, as BTG Crews, here. I think it'll be a really, really good look for them. It really do. All right, so we put the phone number up, 626-605-2756, as well as Mike put the link up as well. All right, so I do have another question for you, doctor. And so just for, because I know the neighbors had changed, the neighborhoods and all that have changed. But for you, if someone was thinking about possibly wanting to date a neighbor, they see a cutie next door, they see somebody fine next door, what are some key factors to consider before deciding to pursue a romantic relationship with the neighbor?
Only three things to think about. What's her relationship to this neighborhood? What's the family environment like? And do you want to be known in that neighborhood for that? We got to go outside, middle, internal. So you got to think about, what are you going to do? What's the culture like in this place? 2, what's their family like? Because you're going to be a part of that. If you have access to them, they're going to have access to you. And then also, do you want to be known for any problems that might come out with that too? So you got to think about outside, middle, and then yourself. When you think about that, too much access, too much convenience. People can take advantage of that. It's real.
I like that. No, I don't have a Telegram.
You can follow me on Snapchat. You can follow me. Just check you out. Yeah, I would also say, when you do dates and you go out, go to places outside of that area. Right? Don't keep it in the community. Go outside of that, because it also shows that you do things outside of the community. So then, whenever you do go off and you go do your own thing, you're letting them already know that you're not always around. So keep it spatial enough. When you keep, let's stay here, let's go around the corner, let's catch up over here. No, you gotta be bigger than your block when you're dating your block.
I like that. Bigger than your block when you're dating your block. Bigger than your block when you're dating your block. I got a few more questions on here. I do. But you kind of answered one with the steps can be taken to address. All right.
It might be a different answer though. It might be a different answer. We don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. What steps can be taken to address potential conflicts that may arise from dating a neighbor and maintain a peaceful coexistence?
Do your homework. What are they like? What are they like with their family? Who are their cousins? Where are their brothers at? When do they understand their lifestyle? Right? We're talking about compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
Compatibility. Is their lifestyle compatible to your life? Just because you neighbors doesn't mean you have compatibility. That's
That's true.
convenience. Don't get caught up in the convenience. Understand the compatibility. 100%.
You know, I like that sound because I keep hearing you say convenience, and I think especially nowadays we do a lot of things based on the convenience of. We really do.
Relating groups. Families are now on Facebook groups,
Mhm.
right? These communities. It's just all access, quick, just quick. Telegram, right? It's just quick access. Which we don't even know what we're accessing anymore. They're accessing
Mm.
at this point. So we don't even know what we have to filter that. Just
Mm-hmm.
because it's convenient doesn't mean it's for you.
Right.
That's huge.
Right. Mm. But, you down, Mike.
You know, I guess one thing that Dr. Will said that makes a lot is compatibility
Mhm.
because, you know, a lot of people, where I remember back in the day, would go on dates and they'll meet up and they'll do, and maybe you only go to one person's house, you know, so you really don't know how the other person lives. And by the time
Mm.
in a relationship and y'all together and want to move in, you don't know how she is, you don't know how she is, and that's a big thing. You got to know how each other lives inside their home because that will make a big difference. So you know,
Yeah.
neighbors, you have to see. I mean, you know, if she over there looking like he ain't never cleaned this yard up, ain't never, you know, you got to pay attention to little things like that as well. I
Right.
guess, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But you know, but the one thing that the young man said that wrote in is that he said that he did go over to her house and
Okay.
play cards
Mm.
and you know he was over there and I guess that's probably where he got the mixed signals from because even though you know the one-on-one she didn't you know she wasn't doing but she would still call him over there when they had you know like events and parties and stuff like that you know, and then when they left alone to get a little drunk, and I guess she get, and I'm just assuming she get a little flirty to make him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, feel like, you know, there was some kind of potential in that in
Mm-hmm.
having a relationship, you know, with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's being nice.
she was being nice.
She's being nice.
Mm.
I mean,
No, I don't like. I get triggered when I hear the word nice.
I know.
Nice. I don't like the word nice. I don't like the word nice. I don't like when people are nice to me.
That's why it's a nice word.
Yeah.
Explain to the listeners why does this word "nice" trigger you?
It's. I'm sorry, but nice
You
means that
itching?
I
See,
am.
you sure got the itches.
It made me sorry. I started this sweater getting hot. I'm like, ooh, okay. It's just when you think of the word nice, it means that I have to choose to treat you a way to let you know that I'm being kind to you. Kind, you don't have to. You're never intention. Kind people are just kind,
Mhm.
right? Nice people, they're doing. There's a motive behind it. I'm
Mm.
being nice because I'm trying to get access, or I'm trying to show you
Okay.
that I'm safe. This is a safe space. Why do you have to tell me that a safe space is a safe space? The moment you tell me, I didn't acknowledge it not being a safe space until you told me it was a safe space. So now I have to be more conscious. So when I see people being nice or be nice to them, it means that I'm telling you to change your behavior to present the facade that I am actually kind to you and you should trust me. It's a matter of influence. It's a matter of influence. I don't need you to influence kindness to me. Either you are or you're not.
Right.
So when I say aligned and present, I mean I'm aligned with you. I see you, and I'm present because I'm present with you. I don't have to be nice on this podcast, right? I don't have to be nice, right? Yeah. So that's a weird thing to me. I've seen nice people do really bad things. So it's a thing.
Of course, you know what nice stand for, right?
No, what does
Huh.
nice
Nice
stand
is nasty, innocent, caring, and evil.
Ooh, I like that. See, I go by fine. My word's fine. I do fine. When people say I'm fine, that's one for me. Yeah,
for? Oh, somebody said, "Wow, yeah." Woo.
yeah.
I
Say
mean,
that again, please. Can you say it again for my health? Just for my
Woo.
mental health. Just say it
nasty,
again.
innocent, caring, and evil. Nice is all across the board.
See, I like that. I'm gonna have to take that. See, mine was fine. Mine's fucked up, insecure, needy, or emotional. Like, how are you feeling? I'm fine. Fucked up,
Wow!
insecure,
So I'm
needy, or
just gonna
emotional.
change all of my
So,
words.
yeah. So I like that. I have to take that one. That was a good one. I have to
We have to
back and
show
listen to this
vocabulary
podcast.
tonight, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I can never say, well, I'm nice. You are. Naomi, you what? Oh, how you feeling? I'm fine. Oh, you are? Like, oh.
Right. I'm
Like,
like,
can you read
oh,
some more words? I got to read.
you gotta be careful. I'm like, I'm gonna go get something to
I
drink.
got
I'll
to
be back.
read. Be done.
That Dr. Will guy's walking around with dictionaries now.
Right, he's breaking it down like, God damn. Like,
Oh my god. Nothing's gonna be the same ever again.
I'm like, oh goodness. Oh, okay. I've already did some other words and kind of using that, but now nice. But I never knew that. You never told me that, Mike.
It just never had to because you ain't nice.
Right. Boom. Right there.
I tell you that.
Period. Right there. Don't worry about it.
I said you cool as hell.
Yeah, right. You cool. There's no word for cool. We don't have nothing for cool. We ain't got nothing for cool.
Don't nobody come in these comments and give me something for cool.
Right.
Okay, we ain't ever talk no more.
Right, like
Right. No more 4-letter words.
no, not at all, not at all. All right, let's take this call.
Let's take this call.
All right. Hey.
Hello there, Naomi Banks.
Hey, Joseph, how are you?
How you doing?
Doing good. It's been a while. Welcome, Will, Dr. Will,
You.
to
Or hear
the
you.
world. About your topic,
Mm-hmm.
dating your neighbor. I'm not. I'm a little concerned with, or worried about. It's not personal. It's just you don't know whether or not the person you're dating next door is worth dating because he or she might be a dangerous, evil man or a deadly woman, and not that you are deadly, Naomi, or all women are deadly. I'm just saying there are a few deadly women out there who could also be your neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say this because I watched this series, Deadly Women, that end up killing killing their men, and also the crazy other one, Fear Thy Neighbor, of neighbors that start out friendly at first, but then become dangerous and evil, including one fella who had vicious pit bulls that attacked the cat-loving woman.
Oh wow.
Hope you understand that.
No, I do. I
I
do.
would be willing to date a neighbor if she was a friendly, honest woman, even you, if you were my neighbor. But I have to be cautious because you never know some of the women out there that they report could be dangerous and deadly out there, deadly to the point of wanting to kill a man or a woman that another man's with out of jealousy.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So that's a no for you.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
My advice, my main question, mostly for the doctor, how would I be able to know whether or not, if I were to date whole woman who's my neighbor is friendly or deadly. She is deadly whether or not I should run like fucking hell to the hills or get a shotgun in case.
Oh God,
in case she
we
comes
need
after
some
me with a
beepers.
gun or a
We
knife.
need some beep, beep, beep.
Right.
Yeah, we do.
That's a great question. It's a very good question.
That's maybe
And
the last question for the doctor. If he
yeah,
doesn't have the answer, then no problem. It was good
I got
to
two answers for you.
finally talk to you all again.
All right. So he has a few answers for you, Joseph. Okay. All right. You can
Joseph,
go ahead.
thank you so much. Ready? So the first one is, I call those black widows, right? That's one of the terms. You first have to understand that unfortunately any relationship has the potential to be harmful. So caution is one of the biggest things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So caution is in every relationship, which is why it's important to understand really what they do, who they are. And I would say, first off, start with the friendship first.
What would your advice be for dating a neighbor?
Right. Can you hear us, Joseph?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So the doctor was actually
Hear me? What would advise dating someone?
right. Yes, correct. He was answering your question. Were you able to hear him?
I think I did, but if not, I'll probably hear it after I'm done talking.
All right, well, when you finish talking, I got you.
All right. So this is what's going to happen right now, right, Joseph? So Dr. Will is going to go ahead and answer your question. And then once he answers your question, then we're going to hang up from you. And then on a replay, I'm sorry to do this, but on a replay, you'll be able to hear his answer. All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you. All right. Go ahead, Dr. Will. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. The first one is understanding you get to focus on the friendship first. The friendship creates the security and the safety. If you're going head in first, thinking that let me go on a date with you, let me do these things, let me romance it, create intimacy, create the friendship first. You have to learn the rules of the game first. And the rules of the game is learning the rules of the game, right? And so it's important to understand that you have to create the friendship first. That's how you help promote safety. Because the truth is that you can always create friendship, but once the deeper you go, the harder it is to get out. And so a lot of times, especially for men will endure a lot of mental, emotional, physical damage because they're like, well, I'm a guy, so I can take more. I can just, it's okay. I'm good. They don't think anything of it. But the whole time you staying in that actually makes you desensitized to how you should protect yourself. So I would say first starting on focusing on the friendship first. That's the first one. And then the second one, there's a difference between a predator and a protector. So a predator is going to try to create more access, create open access, create all these open doors, making it way too easy, right? Be careful of how easy it is. Be careful of the convenience and recognize the pace of what's happening. If you think things are going too easy, probably not a good thing. If it's too hard, be still. Because the truth is that if you empower people's autonomy, if you empower the way they choose in their life, you'll receive their transparency. Empower autonomy, receive transparency. So if I help you choose who you want to be with me, it lets me see the kind of person you really are. And you have to believe it the first time you see it. Don't allow the third, fourth, fifth time, because at that point, it's too late.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that one. Thank you for that. His call had dropped, so hopefully that he's able to hear it on a replay when it's playing back. But again, thank you, Joseph, for calling in here.
Great
All right,
question.
right. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna we're gonna close this show off. All right. It's your girl, D Goddess Naomi Banks here on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. We will be right back.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Naomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Naomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Naomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast, available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Naomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Hey, my sexy people, are you ready for a transformative conversation? Well, tune in to Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap next week as we dive into the topic of mental health and well-being. Join us on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as we explore the challenges and stigmas around mental health. And we'll be discussing anxiety, depression, and the power of self-care. But guess what? That's not all. We're excited to introduce our special guest, Dr. William C. Washington. He is a renowned health psychologist and the founder of Washington Wellness. Dr. Will be sharing his expertise and groundbreaking holistic approach to transforming mental illness. So get ready to be inspired. This episode will break barriers and create a supportive community. We believe in raising awareness and breaking down stigmas surrounding mental health. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for an eye-opening conversation on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap.
All right, welcome back. It's your girl, D Goddess Naomi Banks here on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Dog Pound Mike. Mike, what's going on?
It's all good. Great show. Great show.
All right, and our resident expert, Dr. Will. What is going on?
Nothing aligned and purposed.
I hear that. I'm loving that answer.
Yes.
I am loving that answer. So, how you like it? You like it? This is probably one of the wildest that we can get. We can't get a little wild, but then yeah.
I feel at home. I like it here.
Well, that's good. You teaching us some things. You, especially me. I'm over here like
I'm learning a lot too. Man, he said some real. I was like, oh, I gotta write that down. I had to get my notepad up real quick. I was like, wait a second, let me write this down.
Well, I'm just a dude from the street, man.
look, I love it.
Kennel, huh?
The kennel.
All right, guys. So I'm on every day, Monday through Friday, with the Season of Self-Love podcast. And with that podcast, I love that podcast. It's an amazing. I'm on this self-love journey. I truly believe that the core of us is the most important thing in the world. And once we be able to heal that, then we are able to serve one another. And I believe that is why we were put on this earth to do that. This world, it could be a very cruel world. And why it's so cruel? Because so many of us is broken. So many of us are broken. And with the Season of Self-Love podcast, it helps you to kickstart your healing process. So if it's something that you don't have any money to go, see a specialist or anything like that, I have tools that will truly help you to go through it. These are very tools that I've went through with myself, and I share with you there. But also, Dr. Will be joining me on a few episodes, as well as some of these deep conversations that we have. And we not only do that there, we have meditation, breathing exercises. So I kind of teach you all of those things to, be able to do on your own, doing your own work. So when you do tend to want to go and see someone else, seek help from outside, and they give you an assignment, then still now you understand and you know how important it is when they give you your assignment to do, that you are already there. And that's just added on to make that healing process and that self-love process even more. It's all about having an intimate relationship with yourself. So anybody outside of your being is only an added addition. It's not who validates you. Does that make sense? It does not, they do not validate you. They just an extension of who you are. Sometimes we have to change that mirror imaging of ourselves. And usually when you get all of these, now I'm about to start preaching a little bit. So when you start to get all of these different people that's in your lives is not too good, then you got to look at yourself and say, oh, I got some work to do. And I'm just being honest because I had to do the same thing. All right. But that's what the season of self love is. Because I'm telling you, when I get off of those shows, I be feeling real good.
Love that. That's exciting. I
I
can't
be
wait to see
feeling
it.
real good. Yeah, I be feeling real good. But yeah, for that one. And I'm doing a little revamping with Naomi's World with the YouTube page as well. Yeah, I am. And I'm enjoying it because I am definitely living my purpose and it feels so good. I believe I say this all the time about feeling a spiritual high. Like this high that I feel is, and I've been feeling this for the past maybe 3-4 years, and it's amazing. And I wish I can sell it. Like seriously, what I mean by sell it is that if I can just give you what I feel right now, um, because it's amazing. And I can't say I wish I would have known it before what it was because no, it happened in its divine timing and when it's supposed to happen. But it really feels good. And I know there's a lot of people that I've ran across with. We talk back and forth and stuff like that. Um, that this is definitely a place that you need to be. You know, really it is. And we have fun here on Ask Naomi. We get serious too. We get serious too, Dr. Will, but then we do have a lot of fun here, as well.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, we have authentic conversations here. We learn from each other. We really learn from each other. Because we come from a different, culture backgrounds, different neighborhoods, and just even speaking about your neighborhood, you was like it was one street, it was the Washingtons, and then it was the such and such, and it was the that. Where in other neighborhoods we all kind of blended in with with each other, from there. So it's good to see, the different dynamics of relationship and cultures that come here and able to share their voice. Originally when I did it, people thought that I was just doing it just to showcase adult stars. Yes, I would love yes, that is one of my things, is to allow them to speak their story and so people can see them as human beings, as spiritual souls, that they can see them for that. But also it's to help anyone that has a story out there that wants to share their story, because you just don't know what your story can do for somebody else. Because a lot of people, when they are going through something, they feel like they are the only ones that are going through it. So if they're able to turn on this channel and they look like, wait, hold on, oh my God, that's somebody else that's going through the same thing I'm going through. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Love that.
You understand what I'm saying? So please, if you ever feel like you don't have to be no celebrity or nothing like that, and you want to share your story because you have got overcome a situation, hit me up. Hit me up and we will talk about it. And you will share it and you will help individuals out there. I'm telling you, because we all got a story. Everyone has a story. Everyone. All right, Dr. Will, let me let you talk for a second.
I want to reiterate the fact how important the story is, because even with my clients, I tell them that the more you tell your story, the less you become of it. So I'm so aligned with you in that. And I think being able to have that versatility, be able to talk about something very serious and still be able to laugh, is a sign of self-love. Be able to have humility, to laugh at yourself, to laugh at situations. It's a sign of healing and growth, because you have the awareness outside of the trauma that you
Yeah.
go through. So being able to be on this podcast is an honor. And to be honest, to be able to learn as well as teach is a beautiful sign that this is a place for people that want to change, people that want to adapt, and people that want to release.
Yeah. Thank you. You got something to say, Dr. Mike?
It's all good. Y'all don't hear my stories.
Right, just don't say fine.
My man, right. He said, oh, I
My
love
stories are real nice.
it. He feel fine.
All right, so we got one of our regulars on here.
Okay,
You got,
we got time for Rock.
we got time for Rock. Hey, Rock.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
What's happening? How y'all doing today?
We doing good. How about yourself?
Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm cool and I'm chilling. What's happening, dog pound?
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. I had saw you had did a thing about dating your neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Dating your neighbors. I wouldn't tell somebody not to do it, but I could say I had a bad experience of doing that.
Do tell.
Like,
We're all ears. Do tell. We are all
Oh,
ears.
nah, it was just like it was a whole lot. But the bad part about it though is when it's the breakup, it's like the person is like right there. So it's like you dealing with a person. It's like you trying to avoid that person. You don't want to talk to that person. It's like a whole awkwardness to it too. So that's kind of like that was my situation of it.
So what
Like
happened? Why did y'all break up?
a lot, it was just, in my opinion, there's a lot of immaturity on her end. I hate to say it, but it felt like the true Gemini Scorpio relationship. It's like I'm grounded in reality, heads in the clouds.
Mm.
It's like I'm gonna give one example of type of stuff she did. Like one time we were supposed to go out on a date, and my father had visited me. And mind you, my father, he's a double amputee. He got both his legs cut off and his left hand is cut off. And he had rode his scooter it was about 5 miles from where we lived from each other. And he came and visited me, like randomly, like he came and surprised me, called me. He was like, I'm outside, I want to hang out. So of course I'm hanging out with my father, and it was an argument like, you didn't put me first. Like we were supposed to go on a date, and you chose to hang with your dad, and you just forgot about me. I'm like, you serious? Like dad came and visit me. He's a double amputee, and he took time out his day to come visit me. And you tripping because I chose to hang with my dad. Like it was like stuff like that. Like you're bugging. That's what I mean by you got your heads in the clouds. It's like it was like a put me first, and I want to be at everything. Like yeah, you're bugging.
And she said this after you called her and said, we have to reschedule. We can't go on a date because my dad just came to visit me.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was like stuff like that. It was like stuff like I wasn't feeling like. Another thing she did was it was during the time of her daughter's birthday. And instead of kicking it with her daughter, she went on a trip to Jamaica on her daughter's birthday. I'm like, that was a huge turnoff for me. Like, yeah, I don't. Like, a huge turnoff. It was stuff like we'll be in the mall. One time we was in the mall and I was gonna get some Tums, but I was short, so I was like, I'll get the Tums another time. She's like, no, I could buy you the Tums. I'm like, it's your daughter's birthday. Buy something for your daughter. It's like, don't you think you want to buy your daughter a present? And it's like, but I want to be a sugar mama. I want to get stuff. And like, yo,
Wait. What'd she say?
She said, I want to be a sugar mama and get stuff for you. She said, that's
How old is she?
We're the same age.
Age difference?
She's the same age. She's 30. That's the crazy part. Like, we both was 30. So it was like, it was just a whole lot of immaturity. It was a whole lot of red flags. And it's like, I'm not feeling it. But it was like, after that, it was just like mad awkward. It was like, do you really talk to her? And it's like, I came to the conclusion just leaving her alone. Like, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to just walk past you like I don't even see you. But what really did it for me was with my dad. It was like my dad came to visit me, double amputee on his wheelchair, like at least about 5 miles, and you tripping because I chose to hang with my dad. It wasn't no like we all could kick it or we all could chill. It was like, no, like you didn't put me first. Like, yeah, you're bugging.
Wow. So I hear, so what was that interaction and how long did y'all stay neighbors? Did one of you move or what? Like, what's that?
Oh, no, I eventually ended up moving. I moved and found a bigger place. Like, because we lived in a building.
Okay.
We lived in a building. So I ended up finding a bigger place, and I don't know where she at. I don't even care. but it wasn't a good experience though. But it was weird though because at first we was friends. That's why we kicked it off to start dating because we was friends at first. And we was kicking and vibing, getting along with a lot of things. And she saw like how I do it in relationships, and she was like, okay, like it seemed cool, and we kicked it off and we tried it out. It didn't work.
Mm.
It's kind of like you saw like a whole. It's kind of like you don't know a person until you know a person.
Like the representative was there for a minute, and then once you
Once you
got
get,
to the door, then that representative left.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
It was like little cornball stuff. Like one time she really wanted me to go in to work late just to kick it with her. Like, I am not about to miss out on no money just to kick it with you, just so you complain now that we short on money now. Like, no, that's what we're not gonna do. And I'm glad I didn't waste no money on her because look where it's at now. Imagine if I would have wasted money coming in late, calling in just to kick it with you. That's what I mean. Like immature, your head is in the clouds.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you something, see if you ever heard of this, Nyomi, because it's another thing she did. Have you ever heard of a boyfriend kidnapping a girlfriend from their friends?
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
Like, have you ever heard of a man kidnapping a woman, like basically stealing time from her friends to be with them?
Have I ever heard of a boyfriend, taking his girlfriend away from her friends?
Right.
Yes, I have.
Okay, because it's like she kind of wanted that too, and it was like she'll get ready to go with her girl. She'd be like, I might have go out with my girls. I'm like, okay, have fun. Man, you're not aggressive enough. Why you didn't say you don't want me to go out and say like stay with you? And I'm like, because while you with your girls, I'm gonna hang with my bros. And it's like if I wasn't invited, I'm not about to send myself to a place I'm not invited. You just say you about to kick it with your girls. That's healthy. That's normal. You should be able to hang with your friends, just like I should be able to hang with my bros, and I should be able to trust you to go out. It was like, you're gonna actually let me go out looking like this? Like I should be able to trust you, right?
Mm. And I really don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I think I'm gonna go down this little rabbit hole right now.
Go down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. So how often did you guys spend with each other? Because it sounds to me like she was very needy on wanting your attention.
We was kicking it for like a year before we kicked it off on that level. We was friends for like a whole year. I was living in my building for a little while, then she eventually moved in. And you'd be like right there next to each other. So we kicking it, vibing. We used to all smoke, drink. I used to have like game nights, little parties at my crib. She would come through, kick it. Like she actually met my family. Like she met my sisters, she met my cousins, she met a lot of my close like people. So it was like we were friends before we kicked it out to have a little relationship. Then it was just like, as soon as we got into the relationship, it's like I saw a whole different person. It's like I saw the other side of the Gemini. I saw the one twin, then I got to meet the other twin. Like, yeah.
Right. Because I believe that it's just not a one-sided relationship that is one person's fault. I always believe that it's two faults in why a relationship is not working. So I don't know if you heard me when I was talking about the mirror imaging. That sometimes you attract people that are of you, or of who you are. And so when you were just explaining some things about her, really it was like really wanting your time and your attention, and her needy. I don't know what her relationship is with her father,
No,
or
that's she has a bad relationship with her father.
yeah, and so she's looking for that in you or someone else, looking for that male companion that's going to love her unconditionally, the love that she needed from her father. So she was looking from you or whoever the man is that she feels that can give it to her. So and with your and when I say this, please forgive me. With your representative, you showed up when you guys were friends and kicking it. That is what she saw in you, because you gave her that friendship as being friends with her and giving her that moment in time that she needed to speak. But once you guys went over that little hill and it became something else, for her mind switched. Okay, now it's more demands, because now I've now put him in a whole nother level of things. But for you, it's like, oh, we cool like this, and this is how it is. But with women, that signals now we've now committed, whether it's boyfriend or girlfriend or
Women's
whatever.
relationship.
Now it's a click. Now there are new responsibilities that I want from him, and I'm just speaking the truth. You want more responsibilities from that person, and sometimes everybody doesn't transition or click in that way. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's
But
kind of like it's like I want the friendships on steroids. No, it's like it's a steroid friendship. No,
mm, mm,
it's like you gave me this little bit, now I want it times 10. No,
mm.
and it's like it's an obligation because we're in a relationship. And it's like,
Mm. Well, I hope that whatever you show her that representative, that you stayed true to that and you didn't change up on her. That's all that I want to make sure that you did not do that, because people would do that.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Naomi. I had spoken with friends about it.
Hmm.
I even went spiritually just to make sure I didn't do nothing wrong. I even went to the cards. It's like, did it was something that I did wrong? And honestly, the lady that did my tarot, she said the only thing you did wrong was you didn't leave sooner. Honestly, like I'm so serious. Like I really did try to look in the ins and outs, see what I did wrong. She said only thing you did wrong, you didn't leave sooner. She was like, these cards shows like she was stressing you out, she's bugging you out. You tried it, didn't work.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Dr. Weir, you got something to say about this story?
Yeah, the story is amazing. The story is amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. But first of all, I appreciate that. Two things. One, role versus position. She wanted you to play the role, not actually be in the position. And that's a whole different mindset. She wanted you to play daddy. She wanted you to play the boy. She wanted you to play the needy. She wanted you to play the possessive. All the things that she didn't have. You wanted her to be in the position of a partner. So that's the first thing. So when you work with somebody, when you're with somebody, it's like, what role is this and what position am I playing? There's a difference between a role and a position. Very different. And you can tell the difference based upon how emotionally responsible they are. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is that the relationship that you both had was about companionship, how well you play the game together. But it was never. But then after that went out, you realized that you were incompatible. Before you get to companionship, you have to focus on compatibility. So she was playing hide and seek, and you were playing freeze tag. It was never going to work out. Y'all are playing two different games,
Okay.
right? Right. So you were working on companionship, but you realize after playing the game, you're like, this isn't compatible. But they're like, well, I still want you to play the role. You're like, you gotta focus on family, kids. What are you doing? So once again, they're an emotional liability. They're going to be jeopardizing your mind, your heart, your spirit. And if you would have fell into that, you would have been living up the role, and you would have never been the position of the man that you are. So I'm really glad that you accepted who you really were in that situation and didn't fall victim to being a rescuer in that.
Yes, appreciate that, man.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want the dog pound opinion, so
I kind of want it, but I mean, okay, my curiosity is gonna kill the cat, so I'm just letting you know.
well, the dog pound position is after she talking about buying you some Tums. Like, do you know what a sugar mama is? We better go down here and get some Jordans or something. You better spend some money, some Tums.
That was a stevia mama.
Right. Ain't no sugar mama. Right. That ain't sweet and low.
Yo, that is funny. Yeah, I gotta skate though, y'all. Y'all have a good one, and I definitely appreciate
Right. That's
y'all.
always good. Always good. Have a
Nice
good
meeting
week.
you, man.
Nice
Take
meeting
care
you.
of
Y'all
yourself.
be good.
All right. All right, guys. This your girl. You got it. Started Bex here on Ask Naomi Bridget Again podcast. I am here with Dr. Mike and Dr. Wick. All right, the last time we was on here, Dr. Mike had me laughing so hard I had to take a break.
I love it.
There ain't no sugar mama. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a stevia, honey. That was a stevia shorty.
All right. Well, it is time for us to go. It truly is. It's been a great show. It's been a great show. A great show. So this you. Thank you all for truly coming back every week and supporting us here on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. And as I said, next week is going to be an amazing show. We're going to get deep and heavy, and I welcome you all to come back out next week. And please have you some tissues and some, just ready, to just hear and listen. I truly believe that he was sent to me, and that it is truly is going to be a great partnership and collaboration with us here. And I told y'all we got your back. We got to have each other's back. We got to be able to serve, and I'm just glad that it wasn't even my idea, and I cannot even take the credit. He approached me with it, and I thought it was an amazing idea, and I think it would be good. But this is because of y'all. Y'all continue to support me, continue to encourage me, to continue to just be on this platform, sharing these stories and having these authentic conversations with you all. It's more than just sex. It's more than just love. It's about us being human beings and be able to not only share our stories, but show our authentic selves. That's it. That's truly it. It really is. So again, Dr. Will, thank you so much and welcome. Welcome to the BTG crew.
Yep.
Yes, welcome to the BTG crew.
Get my t-shirt in the mail, right? Get my t-shirt in the mail.
And I can't wait till he really talks and you really get to share of everything that he has to offer. And it's just even amazing just to be a part of what he has going on as well. So, man, I feel it. I feel it. Doc, my Mike, you got some words to say?
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you, Doc. And we look forward to some good times.
Can't wait. It's a pleasure meeting you, brother.
Yep.
All right, Dr. Will. So get ready. You ready to take this ride? We're about to walk over this bridge a few times. You ready? You ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys, it's your girl, Goddess Naomi Banks here on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. As I always say, be good to one another in yourselves. And what? Always keep it sexy. I'll see y'all next week.
Hey, it's the Goddess Naomi Banks. And I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. And if you did, please like, subscribe, press that notification button, as well as comment. I'll see you next week. Keep it sexy.
Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationships, cultural differences, and so much more.